Hey guys, it's me, LD. Today is March 19th, and I am continuing my casting marathon. As I mentioned in my previous commentary, I haven't been casting too much the past week, and I definitely want to be doing it more regularly. So to make up for the past week or so, I'm just going to grind out a bunch of commentaries. This is my second one, and the first one wasn't too long, so I should be in pretty good form so far. As the commentaries progress, if the level of analysis decreases, at some point I probably will stop, just to save you guys from the Dota drunken ramblings of a retard. But for now, I feel like I'm doing okay, so I'm going to continue. This is game number 2 of the Redspade vs. Revitalize series. This was for the GEST International Dota Cup, the March edition. There was another one of these tournaments in February. I'm not sure how many more there will be, but the games have been fantastic. There's so many good ones to check out on GoSu Gamers, so if you haven't already and you're interested in checking them out, definitely feel free to do so. I'll be trying to commentate as many as I can, but of course there are so many games that I can't cast them all. Anyway, Redspade hails from Brunei, and Revitalize comes from the Philippines. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and unpause here. We're going to get right into the picks. Again, this is game number 2 of a best out of 3. If you haven't watched game 1, I'm not going to spoil it. Definitely check it out. It featured some interesting heroes, and it wasn't a very long game. So if you're just looking for, sort of quick and dirty, Dota World commentary, that's definitely going to be up your alley. Redspade will get the first ban here. I believe in the last game, Pacific Esports got it. They're going to go ahead and ban the Naga Siren. So Pacific Esports did pick a Naga Siren, and let's just say it was pretty effective in that last game. So I'm really, basically a respect ban here coming out from Redspade. Batrider going to be the reply from Pacific Esports. Lycan going to be banned out as well. So, I'm not seeing too much of a theme here yet with the bans. Last game, pretty much all of the bans were just really strong laning heroes. Heroes like Windrunner, heroes like Batrider, heroes like Invoker, Broodmother as well. I'm trying to think who else there was. Can't remember off the top of my head, but basically heroes that were just a pain in the butt to deal with in the lane. This game, it seems to be a little bit more of a diverse set of bans. Chaos Knight, a really strong ganker, pretty strong in a dual lane, kind of a mid-game, really his most effective period will come in the mid-game. Batrider, so annoying to deal with in the early game, and then a bit into the mid-game, definitely peters off towards the end. And of course, Naga Siren, she's okay early, but she really picks up speed in the mid-game and towards the late game. And of course, Lycan, extremely strong late as well. Interesting to see the Lycan ban coming out from Redspade. Personally, I think Lycan is the, arguably the best hero in the overall pool right now, just because he can fit into any lineup pretty well. He can do everything. He can push, he can gank reasonably well once he hits level 6, and most importantly, he can carry like an absolute boss. So, I'm kind of surprised to see the team with the first ban actually banning, or the first pick rather, actually banning out the Lycan. But, they're going to follow it up with an Invoker, so maybe they have something in mind, maybe looking towards a Syllabear here. I really think that the Syllabear and the just every time I watch those two heroes, Syllabear and Lycan, they seem to own. They've definitely, they definitely lose their fair share of games, but they're pretty high win percentage heroes, and you basically have to build an entire team to counter them if either of them get picked up. So Pacific Esports taking their time with this third ban. The last game we saw a lot of chatter between the two teams, not quite so much this time around. They banned the Broodmother again. I believe they banned it last game as well. One of the teams definitely did. So while we're sort of waiting here on the first pick, I just wanted to say, if you guys haven't already subscribed to my channel and you're watching this replay, you've probably watched a few others as well. Definitely please subscribe. I really would appreciate it. Show me a little love, a little support, and also, more importantly, if you hate my commentaries and you're about to turn this off, let me know why you hate them. Give me some feedback. I really don't mind. If you have good feedback, I'd love to hear that too. But if you don't like the commentaries or there's things you think I can improve, the only way I can improve is if you let me know how. So don't be shy, whether it's technical things or just my commentary style, any mistakes I'm making. Any feedback you have, I'm certainly open to it. And if you just enjoy the games and you just want to keep on watching, feel free to subscribe. So just going to plug myself a little bit there. You can also follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/ldDOTA. I also stream occasionally, and I believe the links to that are on the YouTube on the right side of the channel page, so you can definitely check me out on Own3D or Twitch TV. I mostly have been streaming on Own3D TV, but occasionally I will stream on Twitch too. So anyway, with all that being said, just going to wait here for that first pick from Redspade. They are going to go with Windrunner. So Windrunner was banned last game, and she will be the first pick. The nice thing about opening with a Windrunner pick is you can never really go wrong with it. Shackle Shot, probably the best non-ultimate skill in the game. We've heard plenty of competitive players say it, as well as commentators like Luminous. So I can't really think of too many stronger non-ultimate skills. It's certainly up there, and more importantly, she's just such a strong laning hero. Between the power shot, she can solo effectively. She can dual lane pretty well. She can even fit into a tri lane, although I really don't think that's her strength. She can go to the long lane. She can go to the short lane, or the suicide lane / the safe lane, if you prefer those terms. And she can even go mid. So Queen of Pain was banned last game as well. I believe it was in the second phase, but she might have been the first, actually. She's going to be picked up along with Shadow Demon, who was another one of the strong solo laning heroes that was banned. So Pacific Esports, I think they had this in mind. I believe they banned at least one, if not both of those heroes last game. In any case, basically the strategy is, and I think I've mentioned this before, if you have second pick, try to leave 3 heroes that you want to see on your team in the pool. That way, you're not going to get all 3, and you'll let your opponents have one of them. But then you can pick up the next best 2. And they might even value these heroes more highly than Windrunner, who knows. So some really smart drafting coming out from Pacific Esports, at least in terms of, they got the heroes that they value highly, which is always important. Ancient Apparition and Ursha are going to be the replies from Redspade. So once again, they're going with these very strong laning heroes, but they have a lot more team fight this time because they got the Earthshaker. So I think their draft is looking a little bit more stable than it was last time. Last time they went with like a Panda, Crystal Maiden, Ancient Apparition, and a CK and a Podum. So basically, no really strong sort of team fight heroes. Panda arguably a decent team fight hero, but mostly just really strong laning heroes, good gankers. Aside from that Ancient Apparition ultimate, they didn't really have any team fight. So Pacific Esports is going to pick up a Weaver. Which to me suggests that we're probably going to see the Shadow Demon in a support role. We could see him soloing, and then 2 more supports picked up, but I don't think that's how they're going to run it. In any case, the bans are coming out now from Redspade. Interestingly enough, Redspade is going to ban Slardar. Slardar is actually pretty strong against really all 3 of those heroes. Not so much the Shadow Demon, but definitely the Queen of Pain and the Weaver. Really great chaser. If he ever gets a Blink Dagger, he can pretty much insta-gib the Queen of Pain or the Weaver if he's got some other stuns to support him. Between the Cold Feet as well as the Shackle Shot, as well as Earthshaker stuns, they definitely would have it, but they're going to go ahead and ban that hero. Obviously it wouldn't be good for Pacific Esports to get it, but you have the first pick coming out of the second ban stage, so kind of a curious ban. Meanwhile, Pacific Esports is going to ban a Beastmaster and a Templar Assassin. And Redspade's going to ban a Venomancer. The Venomancer ban, I think it's a good ban, just because the Pacific Esports is going to need another support. Although I think I would have preferred to see a Crystal Maiden ban. Crystal Maiden gives, not only is the aura great for those heroes if she chooses to go that route, but she's so strong in the laning phase. And heroes like Queen of Pain and Weaver are definitely snowballed pretty heavily. And you want them to get a good start in the laning phase, and having a hero like Crystal Maiden is one of the best ways to do that. Redspade here going to be taking their time with this pick, wondering who they might go for. I'm just sort of looking at the heroes that are available. I actually do have the Dota heroes list, or the playdota.com/heroes list up right now. I'm hesitant to really call out any heroes because I'm sure I'll be wrong. But heroes that I think would fit in pretty well with their lineup. Maybe something like a Shadow Shaman, maybe a Puck. Furion has not been banned or picked. I really don't know why. I think he would be a pretty good choice. Pacific Esports doesn't have a whole lot of anti-push, and I think Furion could really... the Weaver and the Queen of Pain are pretty mobile, but I think Furion could still put a lot of pressure on these heroes. They still have room for another solo if they want to run him solo mid or solo side lane. And Furion obviously has pretty good rune control, because he can just teleport onto the runes, and if he gets that quick level 6... all these squishy heroes on Pacific Esports, and they are very squishy, will be hurting from that Wrath of Nature. Obsidian Destroyer is in the pool. He was picked last game, and he did pretty well, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him picked up again. It's going to be a Lion, and Sand King instantly picked, so Pacific Esports wanted that Sand King the whole time. They needed it. They had no stuns before then. The only disables were really the Disruption and the Demonic Purge. Shadow Strike a bit of a slow, but nothing to, build your mid-game team fight around. So they have the Sand King, which gives them a very strong ganker, a great team fight hero, a good initiator. I think that, Redspade went with the Lion, and I actually like that pick. The reason that it's a good pick is in order to deal with these very mobile heroes like the Queen of Pain and the Weaver, very hard to kill heroes, you really need to have Chain Stun. Between Shackle Shot, Cold Feet, Ancient Apparition ultimate, Earthshaker Fissure, and of course Enchant Totem, and what is the name of that damn spell? Why can't I remember the name of his ultimate? Oh, God. Echo Slam. Between the Echo Slam as well as the Lion, Impale, and Voodoo. That's a lot of disables. Redspade is really running low on time here, though. Could go with the Dragon Knight. Huh. I actually like that choice a lot. I mean, this team has so many disables. If there was ever a lineup that was built to counter squishy, very escape artists, they definitely have it. I mean, let's see, how many stuns do they have? They have Shackle Shot. Earthshaker arguably has 3 stuns between the Fissure, the Enchant Totem, and the Echo Slam. The Dragon Tail, that's 4 disables. Possibly 5 if you want to count Shackle Shot as 2. Lion has the Impale, which can hit multiple heroes. You've got the Hex, you've got the Cold Feet. That is a lot of freaking disables. If they can't keep a hero locked down, it's going to be because they're not really playing well or they lost the laning phase. So, I think this is a great lineup that they chose. Lion's going to head straight into the Roshan pit. Are they going to... I think they're suspecting a possible level 1 Roshan. Are they going to try... Are they going to level 1 Roshan? They're going to try for the level 1 Roshan here. Dragon Knight's going to tank it up. I've never seen this collection of heroes do it. Cold Feet is very good against Roshan. And they do have a lot of disables. I don't think that Pacific Esports has any idea, or I'm not sure if I should be... Yeah, okay, I'm going to call them that, even though they were named differently in the replay. Anyway, Windrunner, great level 1 Roshan here. Wow, this is very creative. Cold Feet really strong at level 1. They've got a lot of disables. They have Windrunner who can tank it up by using that Windrun spell. The problem is that this lineup does absolutely no damage. It looks like they might abandon this. That's a huge loss for them to abandon it. Are they going to give up? I'm not sure what they're doing. They're going to salve up. They're going to continue. At some point, the Pacific Esports is going to figure it out. I think this Roshan attempt needs to stop. They're taking way too long. I think they're starting to get nervous here. They don't have any wards up. They are going to give it up. So yeah, very creative attempts there. They just didn't have enough to tank it, and they didn't do it fast enough. Lion's boots Lion with no regen gonna enter the lane. He's got to send himself a salve soon, or he's just gonna die. Pretty much one avalanche will do the trick along with an auto attack. Just gonna be spamming that Impale just to get a last hit here and there. So anyway, let me go ahead and introduce the players if I have a second. I do not have a second. Lowy getting in some danger bottom. The Fissure Cold Feet going to go out. A great combination. Guaranteed double disable. The problem is that Sandkeen ended up on the wrong side of the Fissure, so he will escape. Alright, going to introduce the players really quickly. Choco going to be on that support Ancient Apparition. He's got the wards already. Has not placed them yet because of that level 1 Roshan attempt. WF going to be on the Dragon Knight. Sugoil, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing these names wrong, or Sugoi, excuse me, going to be on that Earthshaker. Well, mid lane we have XP, or 15 if that's how he wants to be called, on that Lion, and Juan going to be playing on the Windrunner in the top lane. Meanwhile for Pacific Esports we have more action bottom. Disruption going out. How low is this hero? Not really that low. I'm not sure they're going to be able to bring Ancient Apparition down. Unfortunately, Eridar kind of blocking the Sand Kings from getting in range for the Burrow Strike there. Anyway, Santino, who had a pretty strong Obsidian Destroyer last game, going to be reprising his role as sort of that aggressive solo mid on the Tiny. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, we're going to have a tri-lane with Exile on the Weaver, Ems on the Shadow Demon, and Lowy on the Sand King. So much aggression coming out here. I think Dragon Knight's going to go down. We should see our first blood. We do see our first blood. Tri-lane Weaver is so strong in these engagements because of the bugs, as well as the Sakuchi just allowing him to get off so many extra auto attacks. That being said, I'm really surprised that the triple disable lane was not at least able to survive. A better Fissure from the Earthshaker probably would have saved them. 2 Flying Couriers already being purchased for the Scourge, or for the Sentinel, so we are going to see some Bottle Crow action coming out. Tiny already picking up the bottle and the magic wands. Gonna be bottle crowing like a champ. Lion already forced back to the fountain. I don't think he's even close. How close is he to his bottle? Still 300 gold waste. Really not close at all. Tiny gonna pick up a haste rune. This is a very dangerous rune for Tiny to get. He could definitely look to get a kill here on this Windrunner if he wants. He's actually gonna immediately charge top. Windrunner knows something's up because the Tiny's missing. She's trying to get out of here. I don't think she's going to get away. Tiny's found her. I don't think he does enough damage to kill her, but Windrunner blows the Windrunner. A crucial mistake Now Tiny can combo and get off auto attacks. Now she will go down. Should have saved that win run for after the Avalanche toss combination. And Tiny picking up a great kill. He's probably going to have his boots now.
The player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, Tiny will have his boots. Tiny with boots, Magic Wand, and bottle. Meanwhile, Lion with nothing, still working on the bottle, just with the boots. Gonna have a very hard time against Tiny. Tiny gonna come straight in. Not sure he'll be able to catch this Lion with no boots, but he's gonna try for it anyway. If Tiny gets off to a quick start against a squishy hero like Lion, scores a couple kills, it is all downhill from there. So Lion really has to be careful about his positioning. I haven't seen too many tri-lanes recently in Dota 1. They definitely haven't been as popular lately. But we are seeing a very aggressive tri-lane coming out from the Scourge here. And Earthshaker and Ancient Apparition will allow you to do that. Meanwhile, Weaver and Dragonite sort of being left alone in this bottom lane. The Bugs come out, and the Bug's actually a decent counter to the Dragonite. They're going to go ahead and focus on the Dragonite here, or the Weaver is. He's going to get the Dragonite very low. He will survive and pop that sub momentarily. Might stun him in tower range. Probably should continue attacking. No, Sakuchi might be online. He's going to back off. So really not the best coordination. Actually, sorry I missed that. Ancient Apparition did go down. Earthshaker in a lot of trouble here. Might be able to kill the Sand King. He's probably just... oh, does get the Sand King. Nice roaming from the line, but he's only level 4. Not going to be able to do anything else from the looks of it. And these sorts of situations are really where Weaver shines. If you ever get low and you try to escape, good luck doing it. Weaver going to be going down here momentarily. Sorry, Earthshaker going to be going down here momentarily. No, actually he's going to live. Wow, living with like 8 health there. Pretty impressive, pretty lucky. A combination of both. Weaver goes down, really overextending. Tiny missing the Avalanche! Oh no, and he's got the ult, so he's moving faster. Did I miss another kill? No, I didn't. Okay, that was the Weaver. But he is going to connect on the toss, and that's going to be the death of Lion. For anyone who's wondering how you normally skill Tiny, this is actually the standard build in terms of maximizing your burst damage. You want to get that ultimate at level 6 because it makes your toss a lot stronger, and you max the toss by level 7. Then you go back for the Avalanche. So I believe that's what Tiny did. I'll double check the next time he gets a skill point. I'm assuming Queen of Pain is bottle crowing. I'm not sure if Windrunners. Looks like she's going to be going for the Mecha, which her team definitely needs. But I'm not sure how... honestly, Mecha is a great item, but against, you know, all these bursty heroes, like a Queen of Pain, a Sand King, a Shadow Demon, and a Sand King, it's just so many stuns, so many nukes. She might not even be able to pop the Mecha. I mean, we saw she died instantly to Tiny with the haste turn, just from his level 2 Avalanche Toss combo. At this point, Tiny has full lane control. I think Lion's bottle crowing. No, he doesn't even have his bottle yet. Oh dear. This is not good for the Lion. You really need to get that bottle up quickly. Just going to do a quick creep check about 6 minutes in. I don't think I did any last game because I could not actually check. As the Observer was in their onslaught, unfortunately. 18 on the Weaver, 37 and 20 on the Queen of Pain. Farming like an absolute champ. 34-10 on the Tiny. And oh my god, I don't think I've ever seen a hero get out-farmed harder than this Windrunner is getting out-farmed right now. 10 and 0 versus 37 and 20 Queen of Pain. And Queen of Pain is in the long lane. This really should not happen. And this is the power of Bottle Crow, as well as that Tiny ganking her lane early. Phase Boots picked up on the Tiny, gonna clean up the tower with the DD rune. Tiny actually a really strong pushing hero early game because of that toss, doing damage to towers. And if he ever gets a rune like a DD, or even an illusion, good luck defending your tower because his illusions and his main hero will be hitting like absolute champs. This guy is, you know, dealing out over 300 damage per attack. So that early tower just gonna give so much gold to the Sentinel, who already have a huge lead in terms of the farm. Queen of Pain gonna be looking maybe towards that. I wonder what she'll be building this game. On Queen of Pain, there's a lot of different items that have been popular in Southeast Asia. You know, more standard ones be like an Aghanims or a Hex, or a Ginsu's Scythe Device. Or Scythe Device, excuse me. But we've also seen things like Lincolns, like a Bloodstone. Even saw, you know, Queen of Pain go for more carry mode in one of Luminous' recent casts. With a MKB at the end of the game. Oh, meanwhile, sorry about that. Huge action bottom. Tiny picks up a double kill, as well as Exile picking up a single kill for himself. You can probably guess what happened. Tiny just destroying everyone with Avalanche Toss and Burrow Strike either to initiate or to follow up. But I'll do my best to be on top of those kills from now on. Of course, I missed another kill. Oh, man, Just missing all the kills. I guess this wouldn't be me casting if I caught them. I'm normally pretty good about it in Dota 2. For some reason, just not as comfortable in Dota 1, but I'm definitely working on it, so apologies for missing those kills. The score is 8-2. Sentinel going for their second tower. This game was pretty highly rated, but it's looking very one-sided, so I'm hoping that Revitalize can do something to get back into the game, at least make it remotely competitive. I'm gonna take a quick sip of my coffee here. Fish are getting all these heroes so low, but it's actually probably... Oh, great shackle shot! Gonna be... Oh, nice. Even better disruption by the Shadow Demon. Gonna be saving him. Saving that Tiny from probably certain death. A level 3 power shot does hurt quite a bit. But, you know, the problem... When you start losing these lanes early, just to sort of get back to an analysis for a second here, Windrunner is forced to leave her lane to try and defend that tower. Shackle shot gonna miss on the Weaver. When you start losing your lanes early and getting all this early pressure, it has a snowball effect where you have to go and help all your other lanes. We just see Dragon Knight going down here, just continued aggression from the Sentinel lineup. Will we see a kill on... Oh, Finger of Death, nice work. Level 6 Lion, nothing to be trifled with, picking off that Weaver for about half health. Anyway, when that early aggression continues, and it snowballs in these other lanes, you end up just losing all your lanes, and someone on the enemy team is going to get free farm, and right now that hero is the Queen of Pain. Already with a point booster, Null Talisman, and Power Tread. This Queen of Pain is absolutely massive. 58 creeps, and the Tiny at 51. Nobody else on the Scourge is even in the same universe, I want to say. There's not an analogy strong enough to describe how far ahead this Queen of Pain and Tiny are right now. Over 5 times the creeps of the enemy solos, as well as the Tri-Lane DK. We're going to see Earthshaker drop here. Yep, Earthshaker goes down. Blinkdagger already picked up on the Tiny. It's... Oh god. This is almost game over. I mean, a fed Tiny and a fed Queen of Pain against all these fairly squishy early game heroes. It's just a recipe for disaster. Dragon Knight gets tank in terms of armor, but he doesn't have that much health yet, and there's no farm. I mean, he's sitting on boots and a Basilisk, so even though you normally think of Dragon Knight as a pretty tanky hero, he's very easy to burst down right now. Only at 758 health, Tiny can pretty much do that to the Dragon Knight from full HP. And he really can't even lane against this Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain can just, especially it's this far away from the tower. Meanwhile, Action Middle, looks like Ancient Apparition going to be going down here. Cold Feet plus the Impale. Pretty good Chainstun. The Cold Feet's going to proc. It's not going to matter, though. Fantastic Avalanche Toss coming out from the Tiny. Going to be picking up the double kill. Santino is looking like Mineski J here, possibly even better. This guy's playing like an absolute champ. Granted, Redspade perhaps not the most well-known or accomplished of teams, but they seem decent to me. Certainly, in any case, this Tiny is making his presence felt in this game. I wonder what he'll be going for next. Will we see an Aghanims, or maybe Sing Sing's patented Mask of Madness? I don't think we will. He'll probably go for something more standard, like a Shiva's or an Assault Karis, but a man can certainly dream. I actually think Aghanims would be a great choice, because it allows you to push really hard. And, you know, while they have some pretty good late game, if you can get even farther ahead early... Meanwhile, Tiny picks off another hero mid. Going to be taking out that Ancient Apparition. The Sentinel are not even safe with 3 heroes at their towers. Tiny is just too big. He's out of mana now, but look, does have the wand. He might be able to turn this around on someone. Lion, I think, has the Finger of Death yet. We see someone dying up top, but forget that. All the action to be seen is here bottom. Tiny probably going to be going down. Going to be tossing the Lion under the Weaver. Tiny's going to drop, but so is the Lion, almost certainly. Finger of Death goes out. They actually are going to get the Weaver, so nice chain stun there. The Bug needs to die before the Lion does. The Bug is going to die. Lion lives 22 health. One more Bug attack probably would have killed him. Oh, and I look for middle for a quarter of a second, and we do see that Sand King picked up a kill and got out. Sand King already with the Arcane Boots, and he's been playing the support role, so he's extremely farmed. Man, this game is really one-sided right now. I'm glad it's games like this where I'm glad there's not a gold graph, because people would probably just stop watching if they could see how far ahead a team was. So let's before we declare the Scourge dead officially and call a time of death, what can they really do? I don't think they can do anything. I mean, most of their heroes are not even level 6. They don't have the Dragon form, so DK does not have his range stun. This is 6.73C, so his stun is ranged when he's in Dragon form, but he doesn't even have it yet. Nobody on their team has 20 creeps yet. Meanwhile, this Queen of Pain has double the creeps of the entire enemy lineup. Dragon Knight going to be probably running for his life here if he's smart. Yeah, he's going to back off with the Queen of Pain. Meanwhile, Tiny going to be running in like a boss. He's going for the Force Staff, a great choice on him. Going to give him even more mobility. Nice Shackle Shot here, but I don't think Tiny is going to be the correct target. He's just too tank right now. He's probably going to look to go back in. The Cold Feet's off. They have the ward up on the hill, I believe. You're going to be blinking in. Actually, did they even have vision? I don't know, but Tiny might be dying here. Setting up nicely for the Queen of Pain. Are we going to see an Epicenter or a Burrow Strike? We're not going to see either. Queen of Pain off in her own little world, just farming. So a little bit of overextension there coming out from Pacific Esports, but really not too big of a deal. Oh, a nice Shackle Shot on the Sand King here. They might be able to get another kill. This would be huge. Oh, they're going to pick up the Sand King. They might be able to get Queen of Pain. No, she's just too tank. If we see another great Shackle Shot, she might go down. Needs the Shackle Shot, needs the Shackle Shot. Not going to last. She's going to get out just fine. Meanwhile, Weaver pressuring the bottom lane. How much money does he have? Weaver already with 2,200 gold. I'm curious what he's going to go for. Just because they're playing so aggressively, I feel like going for some mid-game items might be better than the standard Radiance build. You know, if his team's going to continue to be aggressive, then you want Weaver to be able to participate and not just farm. Just because otherwise, you know, you can get overextended like we saw here. And that was actually a Scourge Ward, so Tiny just went in blind there. That's probably why he died. Anyway, you know, if the Weaver's just going to farm, then you probably want to play a little safer. But if you're going to be so aggressive, you get the Weaver involved. He's actually a pretty strong team fighter when he's got decent farm. Tiny picking up yet another kill. Absolutely out of control at this point. 9, 2, and 3. Participated in 12 out of 16 kills. That is fantastic. Especially because he was solo mid against the Lion, who's normally not too bad against him. So, you know, I think Redspade maybe felt a little outmatched here by Pacific Esports. That might have been why they went for the level 1 Roshan. But they should have picked better heroes for it. I mean, if they picked something like a Furion, they could have done it. And it would have been a lot easier to do. So, you know, maybe a Vengeful Spirit for some minus armor. Hell, Shadow Fiend's pretty good at level 1 Roshan because he's got the presence of the Dark Lord as well. Although he might have just melted to all of these disables. But, you know, just some theorizing, you know, thinking about what they could have done differently. Lion is going for pure tank. Going to get tossed in the Sand King. He's almost certainly dead. Actually, they might be running here, sensing that there are too many enemy heroes nearby. DK getting quite low, going to eat the bugs. AA is going to be smoked up. Not really going to be able to accomplish anything in the smoke. Meanwhile, Lion probably going down here. Tiny blinks back in. The toss doing almost half of Lion's health. He's going to drop. The chase continues. Nice Shackle Shot on the Lion, or on the Tiny, but they just have to keep on running. There's too much damage coming out right now. Tower, oh, a great power shot from Windrunner. Going to self-secure the double kill in combination with the Ancient Apparition. So this is one way for Redspade to come back. If Pacific Esports just continues to overextend, then Redspade will have a chance, albeit a small chance. In comes Queen of Pain with the completed Aghanims. 15-minute Aghanims, no Talisman, Magic Wand, Power Treads. That is some insane farm. Really fed. She's probably going to get a triple kill here. Maybe going to go for the Ultra kill. Sanki does not have the Blink Dagger. I think Queen of Pain is going to back off, content with her triple kill. You know, so just when things were looking like they might get better for Redspade, Queen of Pain comes back in and says, "What's up, fools?" and drops the absolute, you know, bomb of the century on their team. I mean, there's just nothing they can do. They can't even farm safely at their towers. The aggression from Pacific Esports is sick. Looks like Weaver will be rushing a Relic. He's up to 3k gold. He's going to have it in probably 2 more minutes or so. And then the Radiance will be online, I want to say, by 21, 22 minutes. Sooner if they get any more towers or hero kills. So I'm going to go ahead and take a sip of my glass of water here as I am getting very parched and this game is not really giving me a chance to actually catch my breath. Refreshing water. I love H2O. Tiny going to be diving really far. Nice Force Staff here. He's... Oh, wow. DK drops from full HP. There's just nothing he can do. He's so poor, like he wants... I think he wants to buy a cloak, or he should. But he can't even afford it, you know. He's just going for raw HP right now. Just some bracers. He probably needs to pick up one more bracer and then look to get a cloak, but I don't think it's even going to matter. I don't see how they can come back now. I hate to call a game early, but man, this is so one-sided. Pacific Esports is really playing impressively in both these games. You know, at times they're being a little over-aggressive, but just in general, their picks have been strong. Their early game aggression has been pretty fantastic. And they look to be in a good position here. Shackle Shot goes on the Weaver. They're going to hit Weaver, but not before he goes into Sakuchi, so he's going to be just fine. Windrunner actually running for her life here. I think Tiny might pick him up. Nice Fissure coming out from Earthshaker. Meanwhile, it looks like there's going to be a continued chase. Tiny's still going in. He's got the Force Staff if he wants to use it. Courier delivering a Void Stone inside of the enemy's tier 2. Sand King drops. Tiny actually going to drop here. Continued over aggression, so, you know, maybe giving the Scourge a slight chance to come back. They want to kill this Crow. Queen of Pain's going to be the next target. Will we see a Shackle Shot? No Shackle Shot just yet. Queen of Pain going into the Roshan pit. Should be able to get out of here just fine, but the Courier! The Courier! Get your Courier out of there! Okay, the Courier is going to escape. Queen of Pain continues to run. Dragonite really just not able to even use the stun. Oh my god! The Scream of... or the Scream of Pain, excuse me. Gonna be picking him up. God, I can't... Oh, sorry, that was the Sonic Wave, not the Scream Pain. I'm so bad at keeping those two straight. I did this in my last time I quest. Okay, that's Queen of Pain 2. Dragonite gonna be dropping here to the Shadow Strike. Wicked sick Queen of Pain, joining her buddy Tiny on the leaderboard here. She's 7-0-1, Tiny is 10-4-4. This Sentinel lineup is absolutely out of control right now. They're gonna be continuing the aggression. I think they can easily take up this tier 2. The tier 2 has actually been deniable that entire fight, but the fight could, you know, first it goes... the fight starts here, it runs all the way up here, then it comes all the way back down here, over to mid. Queen of Pain picking a bunch of kills. Sentinel never had a chance to deny it. You know, or Scourge never had a chance to deny it. I think they're a little afraid to. Once they deny this tower, they're going to lose even more map control, and they already have none. It's their last tier 2, it's their best pathway into Roshan. It's not often you see a Sentinel team having better access to Roshan, but they basically will once this tower goes down. Fisher goes down on the Weaver, and great Shackle Shot. They think they're going to bring him down. If they have the Finger of Death, he will drop. No Finger of Death needed, actually. Just the Ancient Apparition is going to be enough. Hasty Queen of Pain comes in. Earthshaker's going to drop. Will there be any more chase? I don't think so. No, they're just going to pick up this tower. And this is the problem with not denying it. Meanwhile, some huge over-aggression coming out from the Shadow Demon. He's going to drop. Queen of Pain going to have that ultimate up in about 20 more seconds because of that really low cooldown. Tiny goes back in, another kill for him on the Ancient Apparition. So actually going to be picked up by the Queen of Pain, so nicely done. I love these crows just flying into the middle of these battles and escaping without any issues. Save in 3 seconds. I think they can actually go for high ground now. They've got 20 seconds to do it. And Tiny pushes really hard because of his ultimate. Just making him hit like an absolute truck. As well as Toss doing damage to bellies. No, they're actually going to back off. I think they should have at least done some damage to the tower. Tiny gonna dive the 3rd tier tower, pick off the line. This is the nice thing about picking up a Force Staff as well as a Blink Dagger, is you can use the Blink Dagger to jump in and then run away with the Force Staff. He's actually going to farm in the shadow of the Sentinel, or excuse me, the Scourge tier 3 tower with 2 heroes alive. He is not afraid of anything. This Tiny's playing like a boss. But he might drop here soon. It's probably time for him to leave, and he actually is going to blink out just in time. Continuing to Bottle Crow even 20 minutes into the game. I've definitely, you know, I like to Bottle Crow, but man, these guys are very risky with their couriers, but, you know, pretty good at microing them, I must say, so definitely take a page out of their books if you want to see why Bottle Crow can be so effective, as Tiny basically never has to leave. A nice defensive disruption from the Shadow Demon, but it's not going to matter. The Echo Slam drop does pick up the kill on the Tiny. Man, Redspade is just being slowly choked to death. This is the best way to preserve an early game advantage. If you can just constantly... Queen of Pain blinks into the Shackle Shot. Kind of unfortunate there. The Chain Stun continues, but it's not going to be enough. She'll be able to blink out just fine. Looks like she's going for a Lincoln Sphere, possibly a Refresher. Refresher might... You know, normally I would say that it's not the best choice because her ultimate cooldown is so low. But a double Sonic Wave and a double Scream of Pain, I believe, will just kill all of these Sentinel or Scourge heroes from full HP. It'll definitely kill Lion. I think it'll kill the Dragonite. It'll almost certainly kill the Ancient Apparition. It might not kill the Windrunner. I think it's going to kill all of them, especially if you couple it with any other heroes. So I actually think Refresher would be a viable choice here. It might actually just win them the game that much sooner. But, you know, Lincoln Sphere is certainly an option as well. Or even a Bloodstone. So we'll have to see what Queen of Pain goes for. Anyway, this is the best way to preserve that early game advantage. I mean, all 3 lanes are constantly pushed to the enemy base, so you're farming their jungle, you're farming all 3 lanes, and when the enemy team is trying to farm, they're doing it in the shadow of their towers, so they're fighting with the tower for those last hits. And you can see all sorts of creeps being missed right now. So, you know, just really great play. This is the best way to secure an advantage and extend a lead. The kill score is 28-14 in only 22 minutes, just... typical Southeast Asian game. Sand King going to be channeling that ultimate blinking in. Nice ultimate, or nice epicenter. Going to be hitting both heroes, doing a lot of damage. Magic Wand being popped on the line. He might be able to get away. Tiny is going balls deep here. 4 steps in. Nice drive-by toss there. This Tiny might be more comfortable in some sort of gang in LA. In any case, going to be looking for the racks here. I think they're going to get it too. Weaver's picked up the relic, probably has enough money for the Radiance by now. This Weaver's really been a non-factor this game. I mean, he's 4, 5, and 10, but I don't feel like he's actually done too much. It's really been the Tiny and Queen of Pain show. So maybe the Queen of Pain ban, you know, a good decision. I forget who banned it last game, but if it wasn't Revitalize, perhaps it should have been based on the way this game is going. Oh, Weaver. Weaver's gonna drop. So Ancient Apparition doing what he can to defend this tower. It's really only a matter of time until it goes down. Yule Scepter coming out. So this is looking like the Mineski J build. For anyone who hasn't watched Mineski J play Tiny, he likes to go for just a crap load of utility items. Things like a Blink Dagger, Force Staff, Yule Scepter. And I'm trying to think what his last item is. It's not occurring to me right now. But I feel like it's another utility item as opposed to something big. Or he might go for Aghanim's. In any case, huge dives. Great 2-man Burrow Strike. This will be racked shortly. Dragon Knight is going to drop. The Scream of Pain is up again. It's actually a Lincoln Sphere. I would have loved to see the refresher for some Fountain Camp action, but, you know, Earthshaker are probably going to die under this tower. No, get him back off.
The town is under siege.
Man, I really need to take some speaking classes just because I have to talk so fast in these Southeast Asian games. AA Ultimate, pretty much the only thing keeping this team in the game. At this point. Tiny's going to get low, but he should be just fine. And he wants to go back in. I think he will, too. Ancient Apparition perhaps needs to be a little more careful. No, he's going to be okay. Weaver has the Radiance. Going to be farming up in the bot lane, just keeping all the lanes pushed constantly. And the aggression continues. You know, I wanted to sort of do a farm check or just think about, you know, how much longer the Scourge can hold on, but looks like they're going to go back in momentarily. Oh, a nice dodge from the Queen of Pain, blinking out just in time, baiting the Impale. Scourge want to run, but they really can't because Weaver is pushing the bottom lane. He's going to be threatening this bottom base tower soon. This is one of the dangers. If you get behind early to a hero like a Weaver and a Queen of Pain... Oh, huge Sonic Wave! This is going to be a team wipe. Sand King, actually, I don't believe was able to blink for some reason. But it doesn't matter. Queen of Pain doing work in the back. Dragon Knight going to be on the chase, but he just has no damage. Queen of Pain really has nothing to fear. Actually, might drop. Going to be able to blink out. Meanwhile, Weaver... Sorry, action up here, as we do see Windrunner being in a little bit of danger. Weaver threatening the base tower. Scourge frantically trying to retreat. There's like 50 holes in the dam, and they've only got one hand to try and block them all, so this is really not going to work out. Nice Impale coming out from the Sand King. Going to be picking off the Windrunner, most likely. Queen of Pain slowly working back towards him. A Null Assassin coming out to try and assist this Windrunner. Perhaps feeling sorry for the Scourge team and how hard they're getting stomped, but it's not going to matter. This I've never seen a squishier Dragon Knight in my life. This guy is going to die at his base to the Weaver. And Weaver can possibly start working on the Rex here. Nice Impale cancel by the Lion. But he still can't really do much to this Weaver. Wow, so just going to do a quick farm check. Has the Sentinels... Wow, 26 minutes in. The high farmer on their team is 35 creeps. And then you go ahead and compare that to the Sentinel lineup. 150 on the Queen of Pain, 130 on the Weaver, 90 on the Tiny, and a billion kills as well. Lion's going to drop here. This is going to be Rex, almost certainly. Although they don't have their whole team here, so it might just be a feed. Yeah, it looks like Weaver's going to drop. Tiny needs to get out. Should have that Force Staff. Actually, just going to elect to farm here as his team will slowly rotate around. All lanes constantly being sieged. This is starting to remind me of that Veloci vs. Mineski game, where they just constantly pressured all the lanes, and eventually ended up taking Rex as a result. The constant pressure is just so easy to provide when you have such mobile heroes. You've got Tiny with basically double blink. Oh, Dagon being picked up by Queen of Pain. Fantastic pickup. Normally this would be considered sort of a troll build, or, you know, not the best choice because Queen of Pain already has plenty of nukes and just, you know, needs to be able to stay alive so she can spam them on cooldown. But the Dagon just gives her that little bit of extra burst to secure kills, and I think it's actually a strong choice here. Especially coupled with heroes like Shadow Demon and Tiny. So much damage coming out from this Queen of Pain. Can instantly kill any hero on the enemy team from full HP, and Tiny can at least bring most of them down to half, if not kill them by himself. One set of racks down, middle going to be threatened shortly. This game is pretty much over. Man, this game was rated really highly, and I have to say it was very exciting, so in that regard it delivered, but perhaps a little more one-sided than what we were hoping for. I believe this was an early group stage game, so that might explain why the series was a little one-sided. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this game, I'll definitely be continuing to cast more games from the GEST International Dota Cup. Well, I'm actually just going to grab some food and then I'm going to come back and cast some more games. I'll probably be uploading them with a little bit of delay, just so you guys can sort of check them out over time and have a chance to digest them. Don't get too sick of my voice. As the middle Rex goes down here, expect to see the Scourge concede momentarily. Dragonite going to be dying at the base, and to me that would be cue to give up the game. Ancient Apparition frantically trying to defend, can't really do a damn thing though. Hyperstone picked up a Queen of Pain, just spending her gold on whatever item she can afford at the current time. Too lazy to even use the courier anymore. Toss goes out, another hero goes down. Tiny diving the fountain, Tiny with the Dagon as well. Mass Dagon's pretty strong choice when your team is zoning this hard. That's actually a legit item, not a troll at all. It looks like just some fountain camping here, so when they're killing you at your fountain and you can't even get away, it's probably a good time to run. Shadow Demon getting tossed into the fountain, getting trolled. Shadow Demon really even Shadow Demon 4-3 and 17. But the story of this game is the Tiny, of course, and the Queen of Pain, both of them with 16 kills. Just absolutely fantastic play. Combined, they have more than 1 kill per minute. That is insane. Looks like Redspade will be taking their loss with some grace and humility and some good sportsmanship. Always love to see that. So just to to sort of conclude the final game analysis, Queen of Pain going to be just mutilating everyone. Just so fun. Excuse my language. So freaking nasty right now. Tiny going to be getting in on the action too with another double kill coming out for the Queen of Pain. She's probably gotten more double kills in this game than most people get in an entire tournament. Just such good play coming out from Pacific Esports, if a little bit of a lopsided matchup. Anyway, in the final analysis, Pacific Esports, once again, they picked a lineup which had a very specific focus, which in this case was extreme burst damage, early game aggression, and chain stun, as well as mobility. And then they built their heroes to really accentuate those positives, picking up Dagons, picking up Force Staves, picking up Blink Daggers, getting Aghanims with Queen of Pain. Gonna pause here so you can see the final game scoreboard as the game does conclude. So they their strengths were mobility, burst damage, and just sort of ganking, and they really they capitalized on those, and then they built items to snowball that advantage. And then on top of that, they were never afraid to be aggressive. At times, perhaps a little over aggressive. But what the benefit of doing that is you put the fear of God in your opponents, and you see Dragonite 1-11, normally really hard hero to kill, but just went for 4 bracers. Maybe should have gotten a cloak, but it would not have mattered against all that burst damage. So all in all, fantastic play from Pacific Esports. They do take the series. If you haven't checked out the first game, while it is equally one-sided, if not more so, definitely some interesting picks. I recommend checking that out. Anyway, guys, this was LD. This was my second commentary from the March GEST International Dota Cup. I'm going to get some food, and I'm going to make some more commentaries. I'll be uploading them over the next couple days. So again, if you enjoyed this commentary, please subscribe. And thanks for watching, guys. GG.